Alright everybody, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. So today we're going to talk about trellises and arches. Alright, so I tried to do this without spending a lot of money. Alright, so what I got here, I'm going to show you this one first. This is one of my arches. Now this one's been up for at least 2 years, and it's still holding together well. And then if you come over here and look, what you can see here is this is that welded wire. Some people call it pig wire, I think, but it's basically 2 inch by 4 inch, and then it's stapled to a furring strip. Now the furring strips, I bought those because they were treated, and at the time I could not get 2x2s that were treated. Alright, so I've used this wire in several places, and I like it. It's real handy. Here I took some old pine logs and I stapled it to pine logs, and you can see now this one is about the same age. Again, let me see, so this would be the, no, actually this is the 3rd year that this is standing. 3rd year, yeah. So, and then here the staples started to come out, so what I did is I actually took some nylon string and just tied it up. And then if you look over here, this is some old shoestring that I had, so I took an old shoestring and just tied it up. And it works. I mean, it's holding. Now here, this is a new one that I just built. And again, now this one, what I did is I bought a 2x8, and I basically ripped these down to basically 2x2s. Alright, and then stapled once again to the outside. And I'll show you, I mean, this will actually, oh, and then what I did is at the bottom I screwed them into, or nailed them rather, nailed them into the wood on my beds. So it's pretty solid, it ain't going anywhere. And if you look, I mean, it's not, I mean, I could probably support, I'm thinking I can support cucumbers and like small melons perhaps. I wouldn't be trying to do this with like watermelons or anything. And then this year what I'm doing is I'm growing loofah gourds along this side, so they'll crawl up, and then cucumbers on this side, so they'll crawl up, and we'll see how they do. You can see the peas have done very good on these other trellises that I've got. And then also we had beans, the yard-long beans that grew up this one and grew basically over the top of the arch there. All right, now a roll of that, I want to say, gosh, how big was the roll? I know a big roll was like 50 bucks for that, and the wood, like for the 2x2s, I had bought a, what was it? I think it was like 20 bucks for a 8-foot 2x8 that I cut down. I'll show you this while we're at it too. This is my little cage for strawberries. This just keeps the squirrels and birds out, so I got one spot, and it's hinged, so you can lift it up. All right. Some of the little projects I've built around here. Not as solid as I would have thought. I really didn't think it was going to last because this is non-treated wood, so I figured it would have rotted down by now. Alright, so this is an arbor I built, and most of it is treated wood. This I don't believe was treated. Alright, but it's not touching the ground. And this has been up, I want to say 4 years. Alright, this is really handy. It's really solid. It's not going anywhere, and it's really neat looking. Did spend a lot more money on it, and I screwed it all together. This is just some lattice board that I bought, and then some 2x4s and 2x2s. So it's done very well, and you can see, I mean, I've had grapes. This will be the 2nd year the grapes have grown up it. And my poor little kiwi that's supposed to be huge and take over everything, and just really hasn't. So, and then the last one I want to show you is one over here. Alright, so this is another one I made with the pig wire, and what this is actually some scrap 2x4s that I put together, and then some fence board. We had built a fence at my daughter's house, and this is some leftover fence board. And so what we did, here, come around the back, so you can see basically I stapled it to the fence board, had a 2x4 at the top, and like I said, it was a scrap 2x4, and the 2x4s at the bottom. And then what I did is basically I made a corner with 2 pieces of the fence board. The fence board will last a little longer, so it should be fine. and then this stiffens it quite a bit. So I think it should hold up. And then we got some 2x2s that I screwed into the 2x4s at the bottom, and that is what goes down into the ground to hold it up. Alright, so we'll see how it goes. But these are all some ideas of what you can do to either build a trellis or a small tunnel, all of it using this pig wire. Now, I would imagine that all of this would have come in that one, I want to say it was a 50, matter of fact I know it was a 50-foot roll of the wire, and it was a 3-foot piece of wire. So basically 3 foot wide by 50 foot long. Alright, and pretty much all of this could have been done. Each of the arches has 14 foot of wire on it. Well, actually I think they were 13. I should have gone 14 because it's probably just under 6 feet tall. So even I got a duck once it starts growing things on it. Alright, so I could have gone a little taller on that. Most of the boards in the other the arches, I want to say, were about 6 foot or 5 foot. If you're going to attach it to the wood, I would go at least 5 feet, gets you up the side 4 feet, so you got some pretty good strong support. Alright, so that's what I've done to make my trellises. If you got other ideas or ways, that you've done it cheap, let me know. I'm all into doing it with scrap and things you've got left over as much as possible to save money. Alright, so thanks once again for stopping by. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think.